Pleasure to see so many people here, as we've seen across Australia. I really believe that Australia can be the focus for this resistance movement that we're trying to create. I feel there are three reasons why we cannot allow them to get away with this, why we have to at least resist the attempts of Lithuania to distort our history, our memory. The first is because of Silvia. This is a woman who has sacrificed everything at great personal cost. And she is, to my mind, a rescuer of truth. And if we don't support her, we are supporting Holocaust lies. The second reason relates to the process of dehumanization that they applied. They took great care to dehumanize us, to make us subhumans. This was not a coincidence. This was not a pleasure. This was a deliberate strategy, whether it was conscious or not. And to my mind, the continuation of Holocaust distortion, especially when they come to us all the time to tell us how much they love us, to tell us how much they love Latkas, how much they love the Vilna Gaon, this continues the dehumanization because it treats us as subhumans. It expects us to accept this nonsense friendship, when at the same time their government is actively involved in the most egregious form of conscious Holocaust distortion. We cannot allow it to happen. And the third reason relates to the fact that this was a Chilul Hashem. Because what they wanted us to do, I've often thought of why they bothered to torture us so much. Why not just kill us? And the reason was they wanted us at the last minute, when we were bereaved, when we were in pain, when we were at the lowest level a human being could go to. They wanted us to say there is no God, that 3,600 years of Jewish history, culture and prayer was meaningless. They wanted us to stop being Jewish. And if we are to respond to that, we have to say, we will not let you steal our history. That's why I made this film. That's why for 30 years Grant Gochin has been working away. And that's why Silvia has risked everything and spent 20 years of her life to prevent this. So I really do ask you to join us, and I feel your participation here tonight is a sign that you are. Thank you so much with all my heart.
Well, it's an honor and a privilege to be here. This is like my third week now that I'm in Australia, totally immersed in the Jewish community. As a Catholic, I'm finding it very wonderful. There is a word that he said that I actually understood, and that was Hashem. And I do believe in God, and I do believe that the hand of God has been helping me all the way through in writing the story. I mean, it was just, to my small mind, it was a lot of series of accidents that happened to have the story come to be. When I finally wrapped my head around the idea that my grandfather was considered a hero by the government of Lithuania, yet considered a villain by Jews because he killed Jews, I didn't even know what to call that. You know, as a writer, I was using the words irony, hypocrisy, contradiction. I didn't know what to call it. And it wasn't until I met Grant that I finally came across a whole new word called distortion, Holocaust distortion. And I didn't realize that my little family story was going to be emblematic, I guess, of a large issue in many countries, many Eastern European countries. So it was also a fortunate accident that I met Grant, and that, you know, when he told me, or when I learned, and then he told me that there was this lawsuit launched against the Genocide Center about my grandfather, I almost fell off my chair at that moment. I just couldn't believe it. I was really overwhelmed. And I mean, so many things in this whole story overwhelmed me over and over and over again. But I think one reason why this story has been elevated to where it is now is because of the documentation of Grant and his lawsuit against the government. His piece, I was able to include in my book as the distortion part of the Holocaust in Lithuania. And so the happy accident of us two joining forces was just really amazing.
Hi, my name is Eva Zalesnikov, and I've got two questions for you. Thank you so much. The film was fantastic. My first question is to Silvia. It is a personal question. I wanted to know how your family that was still alive reacted to your book. So I think you mentioned you had a brother and your father. So that was my first question. And then the second question is to everyone. I'm doing a Master's of Holocaust Studies, and I think you were talking about how somebody was doing research in Lithuania. I was interested to know what sort of research, and although the book is, a form of research, what academic research is being done and how is it being marketed?
And as you compose your thoughts, this young lady is a descendant of a great Jewish community leader who's since no longer with us, Zichrono Livracha, Mr. Abram Zalesnikov. Thank you for being here.
My family. My brother's been very supportive. He's been with me every step of the way. I have gone through at least 100 rewrites with this book, and he has, read every single one. My father was initially against it. Then he finally read the book, and then he finally changed his mind, and now believes that maybe I'm onto something. My mom was an only child, so there's no members of her side of the family. My dad's brothers, my uncles, saw Michael's movie, and they also changed their mind. So Michael's movie changed their mind. I have some family in Lithuania. They have essentially disowned me and don't want to have anything to do with me. And that's very painful and sad. I want to say, for my part of what's missing as far as Holocaust research goes in Lithuania is local collaboration and naming the Lithuanian perpetrators and assigning them guilt. That is missing for the most part. They are doing a lot of other Holocaust research of what they say the Nazis did, maybe a few degenerates did, Lithuanian degenerates, but they have not gone deeply enough into local collaboration, and that's kind of still a big hole.